Hi, I'm Transapient, and this book sucks. And it sucks because it is, artistically speaking, a Frankensteinian ripoff collage. You'll see what I mean. But first of all, in case you're new to the channel and what I do, I'm a firm believer in that depictions of the natural world, even if it's obviously for a child-friendly format such as this, and especially in regards to dinosaurs, should have an effort made behind it to be, as up to date or as scientifically accurate as possible in accordance with, how we, gain new knowledge and whatnot about the past or about nature in general. Because kids should deserve that. Because a lot of kids, a lot of young people, and a lot of adults even really like dinosaurs, and so they deserve something like that. And surely I know I can't be the only one who that makes sense to. And this one, over the years, I've noticed that there's a trend getting slightly better, and you almost start to regain your faith in something, but then you pick up something like this, and it goes crashing back down all over again. When I first saw this, it blew my mind, and you'll see why. Look, first of all, for context, this was made, hold up, what was this? Yes, 2018, so this year, at the time of this filming, and some of this looked like it came out of one of the 1800 depictions of the thing, but this is what I'm talking about. The art style is, I don't know how to, the individual elements of it all is not bad at all, but it's so obvious that so much of it is taken from other sources. Look, this mammoth right here, that is straight up from a picture of several models of mammoths that of a certain mammoth that I've seen used numerous times. He must have used it as a reference, but just drew it straight, or painted it or whatever straight up from a picture. And it's like I get using references and whatnot, but that's just straight up copying from something else without really changing it at all. Some would call that plagiarism. Anyway, but there's also this, I also noticed this really odd manner where that, the texture right there and the shape and whatnot, that is a shoe bill. He must have been looking at a picture of a shoe bill bird, and just drew it or painted or whatever onto this or this right here. That to me almost looks like a saiga antelope or certain kinds of deer and whatnot, and it's just used for this macrocenia, and it's completely copy pasted, and you have this it's an odd very realistic style. Nothing, again, it looks pretty good on its own, but then it clashes with this super cartoony look of something where he obviously didn't have a reference, and all around it just doesn't blend very well. And I mean, look at the detail on those ferns, and then look at the dinosaurs and the other animals, and oh my god, that turtle is learning to walk upright. There are gonna be turtle sapiens soon. Anyway, another thing, continuing with the animal references. Now, to its credit, it does try to introduce or include a few lesser known dinosaurs, like a Eocosaur or Arizonasaurus right here, and that's not a dinosaur, by the way. It's meant to be one of the basal some kind of archosauromorph, and it was an interesting creature. But this right here, this is straight up a monitor lizard. Search Google Images monitor lizard and painted directly from it, with just a few little deviations for what he thought a prehistoric creature or something should look like in the face or the sail and stuff. Also, if you're gonna include feathers on, or little wisps of excuses of some on Eocosaur here, which is they have these little flaps here. That's this little book's gimmick. And apparently that's what this thing is supposed to be. Personally, I wouldn't put too much stock in this because several times it's the creatures hardly look anything like what they're meant to represent. And this is Coelophysis here, but if you're gonna include like feathers on Eocusaur, why not Coelophysis? I mean, we know now that feathers are probably very basal to a lot of theropod dinosaurs, at least quill-like or more filamentous type feathers, so it would make sense for them to have it, but I don't know, I guess he couldn't be bothered to reproduce the texture. Also, this poor Patinosaurus right here looks like he's got toothpicks sticking straight out of his torso that were jammed in, the poor thing. Oh my gosh. It's like a pterosaur right of like an 1800 drawing. And look at that. That's like that. I recognize that Northosaur look as one that was used as a model for in Walking with Sea Monsters or something. You know, that BBC's Walking with series. And it just continues like this. Apparently, this thing is supposed to be a Compsognathus, but it doesn't matter that he looks like an overgrown ornithomimosaur out of the old version of Land of the Lost TV series, because he is baked as hell. He does not care. And oh my gosh, when I saw this, I almost lost it. Look at this. This is supposed to be a Pterodactylus when it is obviously based off of a toy pteranodon. Look, the no teeth, the more straight dorsal crest and whatnot. I mean, it's like straight up a pteranodon. I can't no other way to put it. I mean, this is just taking ignorance or just carelessness to whole new levels here. And look at this. I actually have a few like models based on the T-Rex of Jurassic Park. It looks like you just glued horns on it. Look, because it is supposed to be a Ceratosaurus. And look, even in this thing, you could see just the two little fingers. So this is like something you'd expect in like King Dinosaur, like in that one Mystery Science Theater episode where they just glued the parts onto something like that. And I like Jurassic Park as much as the next guy. In fact, I'm a huge fan of the series. The scene where Nedry is killed by the Dilophosaurus, classic. But you do realize that's not the real Dilophosaurus, right? I mean, this is just, there's no words to really express just how thoughtless or just blatantly ripping off this whole book is. Like this, I don't know what this is supposed to be. What is he supposed to be? An Ornitholestes? Yeah, maybe a demonically possessed one. And it says this one is supposed to be a Camarasaurus that, and sometimes the facts are weird. Usually the information itself is generic, but doesn't do anything too bad. But sometimes it's weird. Like was said to be the least intelligent dinosaur. What's the consensus for that? I mean, I know the sauropods probably weren't the brightest as far as dinosaurs went, but when exactly did we arrive on it being the absolute least intelligent? What's the quota for that? Also, this isn't Camarasaurus' skull. That's like an apatosaur skull. Camarasaur, I mean, had a very blunt face, almost like a pug. It was adorable, even though some people think it's ugly. And again, you have this almost photorealistic or approaching photorealistic style, and this really cartoony, smooth and bright popping kind of look. And personally, I think that it's a cool style. I mean, it's eye-catching, it's three-dimensional. Why can't the whole book be more consistent like that? It's almost like there's this movie called Snow Beast, which is basically the movie Jaws, but with an abominable snow monster. And it's almost incredible the lengths they go to rip off Jaws. Like, they were so dedicated to ripping off Jaws that every single plot point is copied, even down to the point where, wait, it really wouldn't make sense for a snow monster, but no, we are ripping off Jaws. That is what we are doing. We can absolutely not do anything else. I mean, that level of dedication to ripping off something is almost becomes impressive again, but it's just, I don't know. Really don't know. Just like this thing. Well, I know where this came from. This was Google image Pterodactylus. The image from Walking with Dinosaurs came up, and there we have that. Looks like this Oviraptor here has like one of those, like, kind of like one of those parrots. They have, some parrots have like this behavioral disorder where they pick like off all their own feathers. So someone needs to put this poor thing out of its misery already. Damn thing. And I don't know, I thought this was supposed to be a Mutabarosaurus, but again, they say it's a Dinosaurs. I know, Mr. Triceratops. This is horrifying. I'm in shock. I'm speechless as well. And look, to me, it looks like it should have been like maybe an Ivamimus, but it's Ornithomimus. And I know either way, it still doesn't excuse how poor of a rendition it is. But I don't know. I really don't know. And what in the damned hell is Dunkleosteus doing alongside Mosasaurs? Lord and mercy. It's just like, I don't know, from some cryptozoologist spotter's guide to the Loch Ness Monster. Might as well. Oh my god! Look at this! Look, notice, there's absolutely no splashes or ripples or anything. This ichthyosaur is just rising out of the water like a zombie ghost or something. A zombie ghost ichthyosaur. That might actually be the most interesting idea present in here. And of course the pterosaurs get their own hair says. David Peters should know what I did there. But this is clearly taken from a Baraboo stork, and I think I've seen this before. Hold up. Ah, yes, of course it's copy-paste everything, why don't you? And this is supposed to be a Neurognathus, when, what the hell, man? I mean, again, maybe a demonically possessed Neurognathus, but they had much more blunt faces, huge big old, like, froggy eyes and whatnot. They were super floofy and whatnot. They had nice rounded wings with fuzz covering the tips and stuff to make them more silent flyers. I mean, they were absolute adorable little cuddle machines. But look at this thing. Dear Lord in heaven. Oh my word. And yeah, they touching the media or whatnot, but it's okay. These guys are all yearning for the sweet release of death, so no big loss here. So, again, as I stated before, you see what I mean now by Frankensteinian ripoff collage. Like, there's, like, again, the individual elements aren't so bad, but it's almost an uncanny valley effect where, like, not in a creepy sort of way, but it's just that the more you look at it, it's like, the more you notice, like, how much copying there were from models, how obvious it is when there were no models, like, cartoony style, realistic style. It just, like, this is one of those ones where the art just really, like, could have been done better, and it, I think it could be, but it's just such a sloppy effort that that's what, to me, makes this such an awful example of what a good educational dinosaur book should be for children. I mean, folks really deserve far better than this, but that's all just this one Transapient's opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Do you see any abnormal, aberrant horrors were your favorite in this book? What you think of the review? And as always, thank you all very much for watching, and have a nice day.